talk a little bit about the seasonal patchwork pattern by Fig Tree. It comes in a few different variations. You've got Christmas, fall, patriotic, but I'm going to be focusing today on the Valentine's Day option. Of course, I always start by starching all of my fabrics, and then I cut and organize all of my fabrics so that I'm ready to go. Now it's time to sew. I have all of my snowballs ready with my main fabrics, and I started with my larger hearts. And here you can see that I'm getting ready to start snowballing all of those pieces to make those larger hearts. I chain piece these, so I alternate back and forth which side I stitch on. It just makes it easier for it to go under the needle and keep it organized. During this next part, I like to lay out all of my hearts to make sure I know which one I want to go on the right and the left. You don't have to do that, but I like having a good idea of the way those hearts are going to come together at the end. So now it's time to trim. You make sure you stay 1/4 of an inch away from your seam line. You don't want to snip off any areas where you've stitched. Now here comes the fun part. Now it's time to press your seams, and I love using Acorn's pressing spray, and it also comes in a pin form, and I've been using this to make my seams just as flat as possible. So if you run that right along your seam line, you'll see exactly what I'm saying here. It just makes your seams so flat. Flat seams means perfect piecing. Now it's time to pin, and yes, I do pin sometimes. This is one of those moments though, pinning really does come in handy. It makes sure that your seams are all aligned, and you want that perfect alignment when it comes to these hearts. And you're just gonna stitch that 1/4 inch along the side, and then you open it up and double check and make sure each of those points match. Now it's time to press again. And it's up to you whether you want to open your seam or press to the side. I chose to press to the side here because I was not trying to reduce bulk in my quilt. Now we just repeat the same steps over again with the smaller hearts. And finally, we finish up with our star blocks. They are so cute, but you want to make sure that all of these points match perfectly because they do stand out. They are a darker shade of a taupey brown color, and up against that bright white, they really, really do shine. So take your time with this part, making sure all of your points match. Now it's time to put your quilt together. I use a design wall up on my wall in my studio that is made out of insulated foam board that I got at Lowe's, and I covered it with a flannel sheet. That's it. And then I connected it to my wall with command strips. And the way I stay organized as I sew my rows together, I actually work in columns. I take the first 2 columns side by side and take those to my sewing station and stitch them up in order. Once I have the first 2 columns stitched together, I start all over. I grab the 3rd column and I start adding it to those rows. The last step is to add your borders. I always like to find the middle of my quilt in order to help me make sure that I have my borders on straight. Make sure that you're first starting with measuring your quilt top before you put your borders on. This helps you make sure that your borders are all the same size on the left and on the right, and then on the top and on the bottom. That ensures you have a square quilt. Pinning really makes it easier. If you pin on one end and then you pin in the middle and at the other end, it helps you keep it aligned and ensure that you have a square quilt in the end. Once you've added your borders, you're finished. You have a beautiful quilt top ready to be quilted. Happy Valentine's Day, and go make something pretty.